gift. So, Dad, I think you have the check here.
When I first heard about the Advent conspiracy, I got very nervous. You know, I mean, I was interviewed by Lars Larson, who is a feisty fellow, and he said, "Hey, Louis, what's this Advent conspiracy? It sounds like a left-wing trick." You know, that's Larson for you. And but Rick convinced us all in our family that it was a great idea, and this is only the beginning. 100,000 is a nice amount to give. It's always welcome. But we hit the snow this year. Remember, our church didn't have services 2 Sundays in a row hardly because of the snow. So God willing, next year we'll do better. Yes? We'll all get involved and encourage everybody to do even more. And I feel, because Mayor Adams is here and Mayor Doyle and Commissioner Fish, and I'm glad you made it, sir, that you were able to come, to read the famous verse that's sort of become the verse for the season of service that I quoted to the clergy a little earlier before you came. It's in Jeremiah, where God says, "Seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have taken you. Pray for the city, because if it prospers, you too will prosper." Jeremiah 29:7. And Pastor Damasio was making some jokes about the city. Commissioner Fish turned over. He says, "I think this is the city that Jesus' favorite city, Portland, Oregon." So there we go. I think that's what we'll call it from now on. Jesus' favorite city, and we'll attribute it to you just in case. This comes in the name of not only the 15 churches that specifically gave, but I think in spirit it comes from the others. And I do believe from the way our church is and others that in due time we'll even do better. So I'm sorry, Mayor Doyle, this is for the city of Portland. It needs it more than Beaverton, okay? That's probably a mistake to say. Senator Sam Adams, God bless you, sir. And Nick also, yeah, all right.
Well, before I thank you as the mayor of the city of Portland, I wanted to thank you as just Sam Adams. As some of you might know, I've suffered from a bout of profound idiocy, and it has shaken me to my core in the most profound and productive way. And there are people in this room from the pastoral community that have reached out to me and have been welcoming when I reached out to them. And I can tell you, for it, I will be a better person and a better mayor. So I just want to thank you as Sam. You know, when Pastor Palau and his team approached us with the idea of the season of service, it sounded good, but with any new effort, we didn't know quite what to expect. And honestly, we had modest hopes. Well, our modest hopes were greatly exceeded. I was part of the crew that was at Franklin High School, making it look the best we could possibly make it as volunteers for opening day. And I got to drop by other seasons of service activities all over the city of Portland, and it was profoundly moving and profoundly inspiring, in part because so many people were doing service for Portland that didn't live in Portland, or didn't live in the neighborhood in which they were volunteering. It was incredibly touching to so many people. So the money will absolutely go to very good use. And believe me, we just cut, Nick and I and our colleagues just approved cuts of about $20 million in this, in your services and our services for the next 4 months. These are tough times, so this $100,000 means more than you can possibly know. And I look forward to continuing to be a partner on the season of service. And I got a call because, you know, my politics can be somewhat liberal from time to time, and I got a call from You're very kind to laugh at that one. This is a great crowd. I got a call from an office, I don't know if they want to tell me, but from a mayor's office down south from also a very liberal city. And the office person called and said, did you really? Did it really work? Because you're very liberal Portland. And I said, absolutely it worked. And if I could have him do it every month in my city, I would. So thank you. So now, therefore, I, Sam Adams, Mayor of the City of Portland, the City of Roses, do hereby declare May 1st through October 31st in Portland to be Season of Service 2009, and may all residents participate. Thank you.
My name is Nick Fish, and I have the honor of serving you as the Housing Commissioner and the Parks Commissioner for the City of Portland. And today I just want to join in this celebration of the most beautiful word in the English language, and that is service. I was introduced to service through my father, who was a public servant. And on his tombstone is the following inscription: "If I can help somebody, my life shall not be in vain." And so he gave that ethic to his children. And recently we elected a president. And that president, on the biggest stage at the greatest moment of his life, issued a call to service. And he said, service to others is the new patriotism in America. Well, then came the season of service. And let me just say that if the season of service was a rose, I want to make a plug here that it be a perennial and not an annual. We need this season of service. And as I reflect on what this day means, this day of service and, if I may, reconciliation, where we can reach out regardless of our backgrounds, our faith, our political persuasions, our views, and we can find the common ground. This is a beautiful thing, and it reminded me of something Dr. King said that you will probably remember. He said, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. He said, you don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. And so that is what brings us here today, to celebrate service. And I want to tell you that the money that you have donated to our great city will not only help families at risk of homelessness and make sure they're put back on the path to self-sufficiency, but will help teenagers who are at risk of dropping out. So this is a great gift, and I want to echo what our mayor has said. We are very grateful for this remarkably generous gesture. And let's build on this day. And since Louise stole my best line of the day, I will simply return the favor by saying thank you to the Palau family for all that you have done. To Kevin and Megan and Louise, could we have another round of applause for the Palaus? And since the mayor and I are both Episcopalians, perhaps I could say that if we're successful, perhaps someday we will be known as Jesus' favorite city. So thank you very much.
Sorry about stealing your best line, huh? You got to come up with another one now. I'm sorry about that. I thought he'd forget in his nervousness, but he hadn't.